Hey guys, Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys. And back with another episode of My Home Hero. And man, does this show get a lot more interesting than I originally thought it was getting interesting. And I don't know what our boy, the dad, and then obviously the mom, what's going to happen next to them with the fact that it seemingly enough, the episode ended off with them getting captured. Now, why did they get captured? Maybe the guy who snuck into the building found, I guess, the body pieces or the bones or whatever. I don't know. Or the flesh. You know, it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen to, obviously, these two characters that, listen, man, they're just doing what they got to do to protect their daughter from pretty much an entire mafia for us, an entire mob boss. Like, it's just absolutely crazy. But this week's episode of My Home Hero, it really, again, it just shows me how much I was waiting to see more of this show. And I know the show is going to be a show that I'm definitely going to be enjoying to tune into on a weekly basis, because oh my freaking goodness, with what we got in this episode, it was just absolutely crazy. So we pretty much pick up right where we last leave off in the episode, where the guy comes back in to check to see if he can find the dude that our boy killed. Which maybe let me find this guy, the main character's name. No, that's not it. That's not that thing. Hopefully that didn't get. Hopefully I won't get copyright stricken. My Home Hero. My Home Hero characters. Tetsuo and Tetsuo and Kasen and Tetsuo. Oh yeah, okay, I got it. So obviously the guy walked in, he's looking for his boy, but you know, and it looked like, oh, Tetsuo was gonna get caught, but no, he didn't get caught. He actually ended up faking or pretending to be like some maid that was cleaning his daughter's house, so he got away with it. And two, he's wearing a mask and everything to cover his face so they don't tell, and everything. And you know, the guy gives a call to the phone to see if he can find him. Like, oh crap, he's gonna hear the ringer. But the good thing is they did a good job and they broke the phone, so there is no like alert to the phone, and obviously gets sent to voicemail. But it's just absolutely crazy, like the depths of what this mob boss will, or this gang will do to see if maybe something happened and it was at fault of this girl's parents, you know, that did, and maybe they're on to them. You know, just the stops that these guys were pulling through, like stalking them and just sitting out in their car in front of their own home, which is the crazy part. Is, you know, you didn't expect it. And when the guy was walking away and walking home and you saw that car, I was like, what if there is somebody in that car just watching him walk home? So now the bad part is these people know where they live. They not only know where the daughter lives, they know where they live, their own house. And then it's like, well, shit, if they get trailed, because we saw our boy Tetsuo, he ends up getting followed to the damn nearest store. And they ended up picklocking his freaking trunk to see if he was hiding anything there. You know, absolute crazy stuff. And it goes to show you, like, these people got eyes on them 24/7. So if, like, they bought, like, maybe the only way they would get out of this situation is they were, like, moved to a different country. But even then, that would make them suspicious enough to be like, okay, why are they flying out? Why they look like they moving out of their own house? And things like that. So it's just crazy how they're cornered in it, and they're kind of so deep ingrained into this nonsense. It's wild, which it's making me look a lot more forward to what next week's episode is going to do, because we see in this episode when, obviously, you know, in the process, the Tetsuo makes the mention to Kasen, his wife, like, well, I just can't keep the body there. You know, eventually we're gonna have to find some way, and obviously you can't like get a huge garbage bag and then, like, you know, go to like a river or a lake, especially with these people following them, they'll be like, okay, something's up. Then what has he got in the bag? So this guy literally did something that I did not expect, and this guy pretty much cooked this guy's body in his own daughter's apartment bathtub, pretty much. And now the way he did it was like using like cardboard with aluminum and things like that, and just steaming the freaking body to the point it's like decomposing and freaking just disintegrating right then and there. Which is funny because he was watching the entire thing right then and there, and it's like you would think the smell would be so disgusting of a decomposing body, pretty much melting away, the flesh melting away. But no, which is like just wild and crazy. Which, funny enough, the wife makes a point. Costa makes a point. He's like, "Honey, is this your first murder?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's my first murder." But it's kind of believable to the fact, like, the reason why he's taking this cautious approach, because you're obviously, as a viewer, you might be questioning, like, why is this guy like taking this like very steady approach, and especially with doing what he did to destroy the body evidence in a way, like. And the guy just makes mention, he's like, well, I read a lot of mystery novels, so I pretty much get my knowledge from there, which makes sense. Like, if you read enough books like that, well, then you not only get a perspective from the detective side on these mysteries, but you're also getting a perspective from the villain side of those mysteries where, like, okay, you take inspiration from them. So that's kind of the thing there. But, you know, you see how these people, this mob gang, is so desperate to find out what happened to this guy, and how desperate they are to find out to see if maybe this family has something on him. Not only are they like tracking them and spying on them and following them and picking their own locks and things, they end up going in. One of the guys end up sneaking into their own house. Like, yeah, but where one guy ends up pretending that he's like some salesman, saying like, oh, here, do this survey right here, and you know, you'll win like a $100,000 gift card or something. Well, in the meantime, you had the one guy sneak into the back door of their house, looking around to find some any evidence if there's anything. Now he goes into the one room where they have the whole pot in the vase and everything, and he's wondering what's going on. But then he opens up like the closet, and he gives like a shocked expression, like he found something. So far they play right now, it's played off as if they have no clue with what's going on. But I wouldn't be shocked. Maybe the guy found something, found the bags in the box, and maybe he opened it up a bit, and maybe he saw the flesh. I don't know. It's really freaking interesting to see, because we see them get caught in the last part of the episode. At first, I thought, oh, they're gonna kill the wife, and because they like got plastic and freaking were forcibly trying to just make her pass out and everything, and then, you know, they had a knife. So, but then they also kidnapped and captured my guys. So, I'm guessing they're gonna hold them hostage or something like that, and just try to get some questioning out of them now. I will say again. There was a part in the episode that did make my heart feel really sad, and again, it gave me Death Flag vibes, because if I remember correctly, I think I said in my first episode review of this show that I'm getting massive death vibes for our boy Tetsuo, because he makes a mention in this episode as his daughter Reika is watching the movie, this like scary movie. He's pretty much like, I just hope we have a peaceful, safe life, and we're all alive at the end of the day, and we can live off happily ever after. And I'm just like, oh, there's death flags right here. You don't just mention that, say, oh, I hope we live happily ever after together and nothing bad happens to either one of us. And I'm like, you're already deep in shit. You're already deep too much into this shit. And I hope you don't die. But I have a weird feeling like my man's gonna die. If somehow him or his wife Kasten get out of this thing alive, as well as Reika gets out of this alive, and they end up taking down this mob boss, in this group, and they still come out alive, man, it's just crazy. But, you know, again, this wife so far is, listen, I've watched many animes, man, and I've seen some really loyal wives and things like that, but shit, Kazen might be the most loyal wife I've ever freaking seen in my life. For her to know her husband killed a man, obviously in protection of their daughter, you know, she's like, listen, you don't have to do this alone. I'm going to be right here beside you, and I'm going to be helping you with this. And I'm like, not only does this woman ain't going to chastise and get on her own husband for killing her sister, her daughter's boyfriend, and judge him for that, and maybe up and leave him like maybe some wives would probably do. She ends up stays with him. She ends up supporting him through this time, and then she's even assisting in this, and she's willing to freaking go down with him if he goes down with her, and he's like, and she's pretty much like, listen, I'm your ride or die right here. I'm gonna be right here next to you because I don't want to lose anybody here either. So listen, men. We as men need to find women like that will ride or fucking die. That are willing to have your back no matter 100%. That's the type of wife I want. That unless you make like grave mistakes over and over and over and over again, where it's just constant mistakes that you're just making and it's just obviously hurting your family, then yeah, there's only so much you can take. But I respect how much this wife is willing to sacrifice, not only for their daughter, but for her own husband. Just to be like, no, we're in this together. If you go down, then I'm going down with you, and I'm gonna be right here I'm gonna be right by your side. So if they come for me, they come for you, then they're gonna be coming for me too. So yeah, and again, it's interesting to wonder. Obviously, the predictions and people were giving like maybe the wife Costin is in more deep shit, where maybe she's killed a person before. I don't know, but she seems content with this. But at the end of the day, we do see her kind of shake in fear of the fact like, well, there's a chance that she could lose her husband, and she doesn't want her husband to do this alone. So it's gonna be very interesting. Again, we get the last bit of the episode that also left off on a cliffhanger where they end up looking like, I'm guessing they're gonna be captured and they're gonna be taken back to this mob boss's group base to find out what's gonna happen now. They don't go after the daughter. We actually don't know where the daughter is at right now. Maybe they did capture the daughter. I don't know, but I feel like they're gonna question this guy. Maybe they're gonna torture this dude and his wife, Tetsuo, and Costin, to try to get some information and say yada yada yada. Oh, and then another thing, these guys were so desperate, they put like speaker devices so they could actually hear in on them and see like, oh, we can catch them maybe if they slip up and everything. And if not for Costin finding out about this, they might have actually spoiled the beans. So that's kind of the thing there. But it's an interesting episode. This show continues to be amazing. I've watched Heavenly Delusions. I think that might be anime of the season with what we're getting in that show. But this show has been so good that I'm like, damn, right now Heavenly Delusions and My Home Hero, surprisingly enough, might be battling back and forth for anime of the season, if we're not talking about like the big hitters of this anime season in terms of like the shonen series, like either Dr. Stone or Demon Slayer that came out today. But very intrigued to see where the show's gonna go. And we got left off with a freaking horrifying cliffhanger, but I guess we'll find out to see what happens next in the story. Okay. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna get out of here. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.